Let's do this! And this is Super Vegito! Show me how tough you are by beating me!
Alright everyone, JB here. We're back. Pretty much here to talk about a few tips I want to give out to the newer players or returning players, you know, just coming back into the game, because Legends Fest is approximately about 2 months, month and a half away, give or take. So therefore, I did the same thing similar to the anniversary. I made a video about that about like a month before the anniversary started, just giving y'all a mental mindset of how to prepare for the festival, because there's going to be probably 3 parts just like last year, multiple banners, plenty of new characters, and best believe the characters are going to be crazy. So I'm going to give a few tips on how you can prepare for that. You know, that way you guys, you know, going into the festival, you can at least say that you have crystals, right? Or you're going to have maybe certain teams you can build around certain characters that we get for the festival. But let me know what you guys think, who you think is coming for the festival. But as always, you ready to get started with the video? First thing first we're going to talk about is saving your crystals. I think this is a no-brainer, right? That's like the most important resource in the game. Probably outside of erasers. You need crystals to summon for characters. You need them to get new characters. So therefore, what I suggest right here, right? Do not, we're gonna hop over to the summon page. Do not use your crystals on teams you're not gonna build around. You know, unless you really enjoy the characters. I'll say this all the time when I'm giving y'all suggestions. If you really enjoy the characters, you love them, you know, you're a fan of them, summon for them. You know, don't listen to me, but if you're at least somewhat serious about the game, don't summon on banners that aren't beneficial for teams that you're not going to run, right? Or you don't plan on building a team around it. Like looking at Namek Saga, right? Or Frieza Saga. You know, we got all the Ginyu Force new characters. If you're not going to build some form of a Frieza Saga team, or because you technically would need all 3 of these guys just to have a solid setup, because Frieza Saga hasn't really got that much of a buff in a while, you know, outside of these guys. So, you know, make sure you guys are keeping that in mind. Same thing, we just got the Cell games right before Frieza Saga came. So if you're not building something, or at least planning on building a decent team, I don't suggest wasting your crystals. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth the, you know, you might as well just save up for festival. And another thing being, before we talk about a few other tips, is that we should possibly be getting another Zenkai, because technically the Frieza Saga isn't over, so therefore we should definitely be seeing another Zenkai. So that's another 700 crystals for you guys. So make sure you guys are saving. My newer players, you know, or returning players, if you haven't finished all of the story mode, there's a ton of parts. There's 14 in total. Make sure you're doing the story mode. You know, make sure you guys, for new players, you can definitely soul boost your characters as well. And if you don't know what soul boosting is, you know, I can just show you guys an example real quick. Let's hit it, for example, this Vegeta, right? You just hit unlock all right here. And if you're missing something, it'll tell you exactly what you're missing. Now, normally there will be a mission that pops up for that. It'll pop up for it, and you'll get 10 CC for every like 200 soul boost panels. And I can't do it anymore because I've already exceeded the limit. But my newer players or returning players, you can definitely do that. You know, make sure you're doing that in the story mode. And there's plenty of other things in the game to do for crystals. We got turning the power. We've got PvP, co-op, or just going into the missions in general. You know, you have daily stamps. Make sure you're doing your daily stamps. Really simple. You know, make sure you do your daily missions. Every single day you'll have these, and you're getting daily stamps pretty much 1,000 every 2 weeks, and you're getting 500 more for the mission plan. But with that being said, I don't need too much into that. We're gonna talk about the next thing. Stocking up on all of your resources. And when I say this, right?
Let's get things started.
Let's hop over to the equipment. Besides crystals, the two biggest things of resources are going to be slot removers or erasers, or what we like to call them. And then you also have Zenny, because Zenny, you're going to be using it for pretty much everything in the game. Upgrading your equipment, upgrading your characters. Whenever you're re-upgrading your equipment, make sure you're stocking up on that. There is a limit on both of them, but the limit is pretty high. Zenny, you can get to the billions and stock up on that. Slot removers, you can get up to 999. So there's definitely going to be some raids, so you can get easy slot removers as well for the festival. But keep in mind that it is probably going to be a equipment bonanza. You know, it's going to be a big celebration, so they have to bring it back. I would guess so, right? But that being said, right? Make sure you're stocking up on those things. You know, another few other things that you probably want to stock up on is definitely save up these art cores. You know, save up these and these art seeds. And there's also the medals that we have that's in the shop. Make sure you're saving up on those. You know, if you don't really have a character you're gonna upgrade like that, make sure you're stocking up and saving up on those, because you're definitely gonna want to, you know, art boost your new characters if they're pretty good. Same thing, make sure you're stocking up on like souls and energy and everything, because energy seems to be so rare nowadays in the game, right? Because I've been using so much energy just doing my dailies. I had 1,000. I literally had 1,000. I've used 900 this past like week or couple days, right? So make sure you're also stocking up on your energy, because you do need energy to pretty much, you know, do events. So therefore, make sure you guys are doing that. Now, probably one last thing that I see a lot of players doing. You know, if you're a newer player, you know, or you're just coming back to the game for maybe like a break for some months, is they summon, like I mentioned before, they summon on banners that aren't beneficial to them. Like right now, if you're a new player coming into the game, Ginyu banner, you know, the Ginyu banner isn't really something I would suggest to summon on if you're a new player, because they're good, but they're not overtaking the top units in the game right now. It's not happening. You know, Cell's banner I feel like has a bit more value, especially with 17 being there. So it is less, you know, it's less value because the double Z power is gone with the rates. So, you know, it's kind of iffy right now for new players. But we know new players are gonna come around Legends Festival, so therefore make sure you guys are summoning on those, you know, newer banners. So no banner right now. You know, all these banners are just old or just like, you know, Zenkai banners. There's not nothing much if you're a newer player. So I don't suggest summoning on Ginyu banner or the Cell games, because you're just missing out on that double Z power that we had for the first 2 weeks, I think. So therefore, make sure you're doing a story mode. Make sure you're stocking up on, you know, your crystals, erasers, Zenny, energy, anything that's going to be beneficial for you to upgrade characters or get characters, you know, and, you know, be smart about it. You know, be smart about it. Summon on banners that's going to really help you out, build a solid team. Because at the end of the day, even if you're a new player, you're going to want to go and try out those new units in PvP. So, you know, it's a must. Make sure you're summoning on the banners that's going to give you a pretty solid team, right? With that being said, make sure you guys are stocking up on your crystals. You know, I'm hoping to have about 30k by the first part, and we'll just see how the summons go. But we're still about 2 months away, plenty of time, right? But with that being said, I hope this was helpful for anybody. We're gonna be having a crystal guide video coming out, I believe tomorrow, or probably when the game resets. But as always, everyone have a blessed day. It's your boy JB. I'm out.